Yo, what's up YouTube? It is Scotty Dog here again, your friendly bitch tit, for some more information about a particular game that basically got released yesterday. Now, as you guys are aware, a particular game did get released yesterday, and this particular game was Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation 4. Now, I've been anticipating this game for quite some time now. Obviously, they've done lots of sequels in the past on previous consoles, such as PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, etc. But this has been quite a big game that everyone's been kind of anticipating, because Ratchet and Clank, if you're a PS1 or PS2 kind of player, then it's quite a retro game. It's been out for a hell of a long time. At least 10 years this game has been running for. So a next gen version has been in the works for some time now, and it's finally been released. And I basically I had a run for it yesterday, and basically, I played from the first, obviously from the start, and I played probably at least the first hour of gameplay. So from the moment it loaded up, all the story, most of the story stuff, and I really do. I personally think it's a good game. The graphics are very good. The draw distances in the game are they're actually very good. For like a cartoony kind of platform game, of which what it is, it's got some. The graphics are great on it, and the gameplay itself is. It takes a little while just to kind of get used to the controls, because especially it's a bit. It reminds me of like back in the days when you used to play the old PS1 Crash Bandicoot. It's kind of like that. Basically, you're running around, you're collecting the boxes, you're smashing boxes up like you did with when you're Crash Bandicoot. And then when you used to play some of the levels on Crash Bandicoot, you used to go the other way. So rather than kind of running out towards the screen, you'd be running towards the player. And some of the levels, which there's going to be game footage, basically playing while I'm talking about this, and it shows you kind of what I mean about kind of like the way it wants to, and that can be quite confusing, because obviously you're naturally kind of just used to just running away from the screen, but this time you're running towards it, so you can't see what's coming up. And I like that. That is old school gaming. That is like, to me, that's like back in the days on the PS1 when you were playing Crash Bandicoot. And Crash Bandicoot is like epic. It is one of the best games ever made on any console. If any of you guys disagree, leave a comment below. But I personally believe it's one of the best games ever made. Now, there has been speculation and rumours that they are going to be releasing a Crash Bandicoot game on next gen console. So most probably be PlayStation 4 and maybe Xbox One. It depends, because I believe obviously Crash Bandicoot was a PlayStation kind of in the day, almost a PlayStation exclusive game. So they might only just make it as an exclusive, like some games do, just for the PlayStation 4, which obviously may piss some people off on Xbox. But yeah, obviously that's the way it is. Probably unfortunately, but that might stand it in good stead, because obviously also Sony have obviously announced a new console. They announced a new console. There's been no prices yet. There's no release dates. But I can kind of imagine it would be kind of released roughly when the virtual reality, the Sony VR comes out, which is in October. There's no specific date yet. It says it's in October. So I reckon that's going to come out roughly kind of the same sort of time that the Sony VR comes out. So, and obviously, if they are kind of got this Crash Bandicoot game in order, then and then they're going to obviously release it at some point. This may come into conjunction with that. They may even make it a virtual reality game. They may even make it where you running around like Crash Bandicoot in virtual reality. Now that would be sick. I mean, you make one of the best games ever made on a PlayStation console, and one of the best graphically performing games on that console at that time, and you bring it back to a next-gen level, but make it virtual reality, so you're kind of like going to be Crash himself. That is pretty cool. But then, yeah, going back to Ratchet and Clank, which obviously I've played the first kind of hour or so of gameplay, it's very, very similar to that, and that's what I miss nowadays about a lot of the games that you do get on like the consoles nowadays, because a lot of games nowadays are open world games. They're shoot 'em up games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, which I'm a massive fan of, as well as Call of Duty. And they're just, some of these the games nowadays are just so graphically demanding. You need super like CPU outage to perform these, and they are literally pushing the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One's consoles to the limits to produce some of these games. Now, there is obviously a little bit more they can do with it, but this is one of the reasons why they basically said, right, we're gonna release a new console. We're gonna release a new PlayStation 4 console, which is obviously the PlayStation Neo, because graphically, the PlayStation VR that they are basically releasing is just not gonna it's just not gonna be up to standard to go against the current PlayStation 4 console. It's just the CPU outage and the graphics and the processor speed on the current PlayStation 4 is amazing. It's great, and the games that they make for it now are more than comfortable to play on them. But to do something like virtual reality now, to streamline that game, to make a game in virtual reality to run almost seamlessly without any glitches or anything like that, you need good CPU speed. So obviously that's why they've concentrated on virtual reality on PC, because obviously PCs can be upgraded, and you can make a PC absolutely mega to the point where it's just like literally just it's so powerful, it's ridiculous. So pretty much any game could work on it. And this is what consoles have gone for, and this is what consoles are trying to keep up with. And PlayStation and I'd say Xbox as well, but PlayStation, Sony have been in the forefront. They've been in the forefront of console gaming for a hell of a long time, for at least 10 years. And in the last maybe say 2 or 3 years, they've been ahead of the game all the time. Nothing against Microsoft. I've said this in previous videos. I'm nothing against Microsoft. I've always been a PlayStation fan. But if PlayStation are bringing out this new console, which they are now, they have released it. No particular date, obviously, I've said. But Microsoft have got their work cut out. They have to release something. They have to bring something out that is going to come in par with the new PlayStation Neo, or if not, better. Now, there's also been rumours as well that Nintendo are going to be releasing some new console machine. Now, Nintendo have always been known. They've always been known for kind of like spreading rumours. We're going to release this. We're going to do that, and they kind of like don't really deliver, which is a shame. You know what I mean? Look at the Wii U, for instance. They've released that Wii U, and it's kind of like just hasn't done what they was expecting to do. It was the same as the PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita was released, and then it's taken a sideline, and it's basically half of the units they've made are just sat in a warehouse somewhere, just not even being used, because PlayStation Vitas are not popular anymore, because people don't want to play them. There are other little handheld consoles out there that are better. Now, I've got a Nintendo DS, 3DS, and I love it. I absolutely love it to bits. But if Sony are releasing a new console, then Microsoft and Xbox have to make something to keep up with that, because Microsoft are dwindling as it is, and if they don't keep up with PlayStation, and God knows what Nintendo's got up their sleeve, because Nintendo is, I would say, they are one of the dark horses in the console gaming race. No one ever knows what they're going to do. and their technology is advanced. It is very, very good, and they're very, very secretive about what they develop, what they want to manufacture, until the very last minute. Now, obviously, there's one particular event this year that everyone is going to be basically waiting for, and that is in June. I think it's June the 10th and June the 11th, and it is E3. Now, E3 is obviously, for no one that knows what that is a massive gaming development convention. It's usually held in America, in California, and it goes on for, I think it's like a week or so, or maybe a few days, I'm not too sure. But it's basically all big gaming companies, big kind of tech companies that are kind of in the gaming industry, etc., etc., announcing new products, new DLCs, new games that are going to be coming out this year. Now, they obviously, Sony have obviously announced the PlayStation Neo, but there's been no speculation about what it's got in it. They've said, oh, it's got an upgraded CPU and all this sort of stuff, but excuse me. But there's excuse me, wow. Yeah, there's been no indication about what there is actually going to be released in this console yet. So it's going to be fun to watch E3 in June and see what they have got up their sleeve. But also it's going to be interesting to see what Xbox come up with and Nintendo come up with. But yeah, basically enough of that for the moment. Just going to kind of make a conclusion about the game, obviously Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, it's an absolutely awesome game. I love it. The graphics are very, very good. The gameplay is excellent. It kind of brings back the old PlayStation feel, that retro feel. Like, I mean, it's like I've got the old Ratchet and Clank games from back in the days, back in the PlayStation 2 era, the PlayStation 1s. And basically, it just brings back memories, and it is such a good little game that they've developed, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Now, yeah, basically, yeah, that's basically what I can say about it. Really, the gameplay is excellent. It runs very well. The graphics are very, very good. For $29.99 from the in the UK and the PS Store, I believe that is great value for money. So, well done to the developers on this one, on this occasion. Obviously, wait and see if they obviously bring out updates in the future. There probably are going to be little glitches in it. I'm sure there probably are glitches in it and stuff like this that they can fix. Every game's got some sort of issue, but that's what people like myself and obviously other fellow YouTubers basically do. They play these games and they come up and say, oh, actually, if this game's got this, you can improve it. So, if you are the developers of this Ratchet and Clank, excellent job. You've done a great game. I can't fault it at the moment, but yeah, keep up the good work. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. This is Scotty Dog. Basically, ending the video here. Hope you liked the video. Please leave a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below. And also, one last thing, please subscribe to the channel. This is Scotty Dog out. See you on the next video.